But we're talking about this whole thing around King and how King is constantly thrown in Negroes' faces because, like, as soon as you want to make some sort of point, you go, well, what about Martin Luther King? Do you know Martin Luther King wouldn't have done this? How many times, Aaron, have you heard the King argument at this point?
Martin Luther King, first of all, from hearing people talk about it, first of all, he deflected punches and bullets. So that was the thing. Like, not only was he nonviolent, but nothing actually affected him emotionally. He would walk forward through it, like he would walk into the river like a Terminator and out the other side like a Terminator. He actually felt nothing but compassion for everyone. Nothing. He didn't eat. He didn't drink. He didn't sleep. It was all compassion 100% of the time for Martin Luther King. So why don't black people act like that?
You know what, Aaron? That is a valid question. Why don't black people act like that? Maybe we should. Maybe the movement really needs to take a page out of the Martin Luther King handbook. Maybe we really, as opposed to being mad that they keep throwing Martin Luther King at us, maybe we, like, the fact is that is it really? Are they really winning people over with these nonsense? Martin Luther King didn't go through this. No one. When Martin Luther King did something, people understood that it was his heart, his mind, his soul. That he just wanted to be free. That was it. And then.
Did you guys hear that Bernie Sanders marched with King?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I just, that's something that I just found out recently. But you know what's interesting? This clip that was sent to me on Twitter discussing this very thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to Meet the Press, the unrehearsed program which has won every major award in its field. Our guest today is Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., the originator and leader of the passive resistance movement among Negroes in the United States.
Can we just have a moment with that? I love how just the tone, the questions though do not actually reflect their own. Like, why did we talk like that at one point? Why was this a reasonable way of talking when you were on the news?
It's the voice of racism.
Oh no!
Watch this.
It's a little voicey.
And cocaine and marijuana ravage the African American community, lowering test scores and overall intelligence. Doesn't matter. It's all racism. It all just sounds like racism, like Cheerios with milk. Sounds like just as much as the Southern drawl sounds like Jim Crow, that sounds like it. Like that sounds like genuine misinformation racism.
Yeah, it makes me feel a little bit weird. That's why I
the hardworking Mexican. It just sounds terrible. No matter what I just talking about, it just sounds like 1950s misinformation. Blue. It doesn't matter.
The hardworking Mexican.
Hardworking Mexican man, tending to his fields like a good soldier. It all sounds awful. It's just the voice. I know that the voice sounds terrible. It sounds like those instructional videos that tell you never to look at a woman so you don't get her pregnant from 10 feet away.
Well, guess what? Let's let them cook.
Meet the Press. For the past several months, a new strategy to end racial segregation has been spreading through the South. It takes the form of sit-in demonstrations by Negro students against segregation in public eating places. It is part of a broader campaign of nonviolent resistance led by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., who is our guest today. Dr. King is a Baptist minister and head of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which is spearheading the passive resistance movement. Dr. King first attracted nationwide attention in 1956 when he led the boycott against segregation in public buses in Montgomery, Alabama. His activities have resulted 5 times in his arrest, and his home and his church were bombed.
Can we have a moment with just like the panel of white men who's like basically going to question Dr. King right now? Can we hear that? Just the optics of it, just looking like, this just makes me feel.
Parole board. Yeah. Am I the only person that is always startled that it was okay to call black people Negroes back? Like every time I hear it, it's just like, whoa, okay, we're doing that.
Actually, I like the word Negro. I feel like Negro is just it's just an old timey word. Like I feel like when you say Negro, you can also say verily. Like I don't actually have an issue with Negro at all. Like if they would have said which one what I don't know. There's some words that they could have used that they thought was the jigaboo has come on the scene. I'm like, okay, whoa, hey, whoa, hey, whoa, hey. Hey, whoa.
The jigaboo?
Hey, whoa.
You never heard jigaboo before?
I'm very familiar with the jigaboo, but I wasn't prepared for that from Meet the Press.
Listen, white folks didn't like us. I feel like you didn't understand how much they didn't like us at one point.
Oh, wait. Were we not a thing with white people all the time?
No, at one point they were really mad at us. Or something. I think when we stopped, like they had made a deal with us. They said, hey, if we came over, they would give us all these the land of opportunity and milk and honey, and all we had to do is just like do a little bit of work for them, and it would be fine. They'll give us a place to live and eat and all that other stuff. And then we were just getting froggy, and we were just killing livestock and stealing stuff, and just burning down their babies and stuff like that. And we did all that stuff, and then the white folks were mad at us for a while.
Let me stop you right there. We need to discuss something we have called history. This little thing that we learn in middle school and high school, like Egypt is a part of the Middle East and not Africa. Like that's geography and history and all that kind of stuff.
Listen, I don't know what type of light skin history you got, but I got the real deal here. And that's apparently the Negroes were a problem. And so and obviously we're going to see how much of a problem they were in this Meet the Press clip. Sir, you got to let it ride. You got to see what the issue was.
Go ahead.
Dr. King, if you're ready, we'll start the questions with Mr. Spivak.
Dr. King, former President Harry Truman recently said this, and I quote, "If anyone came to my store and sat down, I would throw him out. Private business has its own rights and can do what it wants." Now, former President Truman is an old friend of the Negro, I believe. Now, isn't this an indication that the sit-in strikes are doing the Negro race, more harm than good?
Let's have that moment. No, let's have that moment. They just asked Martin Luther King, like the man who gets quoted at us all the time, all the fucking time. If you were just like King, if you just do things like King, if you just acted like King. But then at the same time, when King was being, I don't know, King, white folks were like, listen, do you think this? I feel like you're hurting your cause. I mean, even the former president, who's a friend of the Negro, said that they'd kick you out. What's your problem, Negro? That's what they're quoting to us. That's what they're quoting to us.
Your tone, buddy.
Yes, Martin Luther King, and he sit less aggressively.
Yes, yes.
You're making us uncomfortable.
That is what just happened with all of the bullshit that people talk about the movement, about how things work, and all this stuff. Literally, Dr. King had the exact same things being said to him as the movement has said about them, but we should act like King. Literally, that's what they're saying. You need to act more like King. You're not acting like King enough. You need to be more kingy. Have you thought about being king-like?
I'm sitting less aggressively.
Was that your adorable pose, Jarrett? Aaron too?
Hey, white people. Hey, man. Hey.
All right,
I'm not being aggressive right now.
Oh my God, this show is so really open to all sorts of people. We are not angry in any shape, form, or fashion. Not even a little bit.
This is totally unaggressive.
So not aggressive. So not aggressive. Okay, we're gonna get in trouble. All right. So but yeah, I said, listen, they're asking Dr. King about whether or not this is going to hurt his goddamn cause, just like they were asking Marissa, how they were asking folks down in Ferguson, all this stuff, the same bullshit. But guess what? 2015 though. But y'all so good at this.
Mr. Spivak, first I should say that this was an unfortunate statement, and we were very disappointed to hear the former president of the United States, make such a statement. In a sense, a statement like this serves to aid and abet the violent forces in the South. And even if Mr. Truman disagreed with the sit-ins, he should certainly disagree with them on a higher level. Following his past record, it seems to me that Mr. Truman wouldn't have faced such a situation, because there wouldn't have been a segregated store in the beginning if he were running it, according to his statements in the past. Now, I do not think this movement is setting us back, making enemies. It's causing numerous people all over the nation, and in the South in particular, to reevaluate the stereotypes that they have developed concerning Negroes, so that it has an educational value, and I think in the long run, it will transform the whole of American society.
Oh, snap.